Oil prices fell for the fourth day in a row today, nearing their lowest level since late March, after data showed a lower than expected decline in U.S. inventories. Brent crude oil futures were down 32 cents at $50.47 a barrel, while U.S. crude futures were also down 32 cents at $47.50 a barrel. Well, let's get more on the commodities markets from a research analyst at the financial derivatives company, Desola Sumoni. It's great to have you on the program again, Desola.
Thank you for having me.
So, oil prices have been declining consistently in the past couple of weeks. What has been the major driver of this decline?
Like you rightly said, global oil market bearish mode. We've seen the global prices decline, get the highs $6 current level. This is mainly driven by rising production. Data from the Energy Information Administration has showed that U.S. production has increased for 11 weeks consistently and is now at 9.3 million barrels a day. And this is the highest level since August 2015. We've also seen U.S. crude stockpiles reach record highs of 528 million barrels. In addition to that, data from Baker Hughes shows that the U.S. number of active rigs in the U.S. increased by 9 and the week ended on April 28 and is now at 697. So all these factors put together underline a ballooning global supply, and these are the factors that are driving oil prices down.
Now, but in spite of this, do you see oil prices crossing the $50 per barrel mark, just like the World Bank, which sees it reach about $60 per barrel next year?
That depends. But since December 2016, after the OPEC deal, we've not seen oil prices go below $50 per barrel. $50 has been like the floor, although it will get near $50, but it hasn't crossed it since the OPEC deal. However, what will happen to the future of the oil price depends largely on the outcome of the OPEC meeting in May 25th.
Now let's talk about the OPEC meeting scheduled for the 25th of this month. What are your expectations from this meeting, and of course, how will this decision affect oil prices?
Okay, the consensus of opinion is that there will likely be an extension of the OPEC production cut, because the market rebalance that OPEC expected from the production deal has not yet, or is coming slower than expected. So I think that what will happen is that they would agree to extend the production deal. Now, also consensus of opinion has shown that if the deal is indeed extended, then we might see prices increase to as high as $60 per barrel. And if that doesn't happen, we might see price decline to as low as $40 per barrel.
Well, at the end of the day, Desola, I'm sure that the question on the minds of many Nigerians is, what does the country tend to gain from all this?
Oh, yes, definitely. Higher oil prices is positive for Nigeria. But however, Nigeria's oil revenues is more production sensitive than price sensitive. And even moreover, at $50 per barrel, it is still higher than 2017 budget benchmark of $42.5 million per barrel. So since the beginning of this year, we've not seen any hostilities in the Niger Delta region. Relative calm. NNPC states that oil production are 2 million barrels per day currently. So higher oil prices together with higher production would mean higher oil earnings and higher reserves, and even a stronger naira.
Well, Desola, before I let you go, give us a sense of where you see oil prices in the coming weeks. Going ahead.
Before the meeting, I think that we'll see some flat trading. I think we'll see oil flat at around $50 per barrel. But the outcome of the meeting would now decide the future of the oil prices.
Thanks a lot, Desola, for those updates there. Thank you so much. Desola Sumoni is a research analyst at the financial derivatives company. Well, moving on now, this year's edition of the World Economic Forum has been flagged off in Durban today with the theme, Achieving Inclusive Growth Through Responsible and Responsive Leadership. A number of serving and former African leaders are attending, including Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe. Host President Jacob Zuma of South Africa and WEF founder Klaus Schwab opened the event with speeches touching on how leaders can deliver prosperity to all in the face of increasing polarization of values and thought. In the meantime, African leaders should look beyond the present and focus more on the future to fix the continent. Well, this is a message from the chairman of HERS Foundation, Mr. Tony Elumelu, at the World Economic Forum in South Africa. Mr. Elumelu advises the leaders to embrace legacy leadership to develop their countries.
I would say that our leaders should begin to embrace legacy, think about legacy and leadership. To me, this is all-embracing. If you realize that you will not be in this earth forever, on this earth forever, you realize that the office you occupy, you will not be there forever. 2, 3, you're concerned about how history, posterity, will judge you and your name. I believe strongly that it will go a long way in shaping how leaders deal with issues. The truth is, our leaders know what should be done. But either due to selfish interests, not either, it must be, they fail to do what is right. Some leaders are short-term in orientation and do not think of how they will remember beyond today. So if leaders embrace legacy and they guide them, they will help to fix Africa. But we do need political leadership to a large extent in fixing Africa of today.
Meanwhile, the former Minister of Finance in South Africa, Mr. Pravin Gordhan, is re-echoing Mr. Elumelu's message, and he says the world is facing a leadership crisis generally. Mr. Gordhan, who spoke to Channels TV's South Africa Bureau Chief Betty Divya on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Durban, is asking the leaders to think outside the box and come up with quicker solutions to improve the welfare of the people.
I think the world generally is facing a leadership crisis where what we require is the kind of leadership that the Mandelas and Katraras provided, which had a sense of vision, it had a sense of hope, it had as its focus the development of people and their well-being, and fraternity amongst nations and amongst the peoples of the world. Today the focus is a very narrow one, concerned with either national interests or very sectarian interests, and often the welfare of the majority of the people is not the primary concern of many in leadership positions, whether in the private sector or in the public sector. And that's what we need to attend to, so that the alienation between citizens and leaders, whether they're business or government leaders, is something that becomes an element of the past.
And that's our program today. Many thanks for staying with us. I am BC Adebayo.